So, Bad Boys LA Season 1, episode number, I think this is episode number 7 or so. Um, Picks up with the fight between Malone and Carry-On. Malone gets on top of Carry-On. He's doing most of the punching. Carry-On looks like he's taking a dive trying to get away from Malone. Then we see, security jump in and split them apart, hold them along, and that's when Carry-On gets away from security. Runs back over there trying to swing around security. They break it up. Carry-On goes outside. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm back. But yeah, so they split up. The rest of the guys stay inside. They all pissed off. They just over it. But Carry-On goes outside and has a talk with Raleigh. Raleigh goes out there and talk to him. And Raleigh is still saying basically that both of y'all did something wrong. Both of y'all hit below the belt with one another. You with his getting at him about his sexcapades and OnlyFans or whatever it is that he do for money. And he dug at you about your family, which was wrong or whatever. But basically, Carry-On is still stuck on this whole thing. I'm getting in their head. I'm getting in their head. And I agree with Raleigh. But at what point, like you saying things to get into people's head, but what point you gonna start swinging back? Like you can't sit there and be running off at the mouth and letting people think you getting in their head or whatever. You making them look dumb and being there punching bag. Like you keep getting beat up, and it's not cool. And I was with Relly when he said that. Like you just keep letting people hit on you. You can't do that. So they stay out there talking to the rest of the guys, what's his name? Moolah stands up and says he over it. They need to stop. We came here to do something better than this, than fighting every day one day. Malone said he tired of fighting every day too. But like Malone, you saying that right now, but you the one who snuck him. You the one who picked at him from what we saw. You can blame editing or whatever, and you try to make yourself look like a victim. But sir, you came down on Carry-On picking at him because you was mad that the producers of this show got that engineer to leave to create conflict amongst y'all, and it fucking worked. So instead of being mad and taking your anger out at the right person, you put your anger towards Carry-On by saying that he ain't shit. He don't know what the fuck he doing. Or whatever. That wasn't right. And then when he come back at you, now you want to be the fucking victim. You want to be the victim and you fucking snuck him. Like when Carry-On came back in the house and they all was talking again, he brought it up like, you snuck me. I was taking a selfie with the producer or whoever she was, and you came and hit me from the fucking side. But Carry-On, you ran up on Malone, then backed up, didn't do nothing but backed up, and he came at you head on, and he fucked you up. He fucked you up. It is what it is. You should have took your chance right then and there. He was facing you. It's not like you snuck him from the side when he was on behind that ball. You could have ran up and done him up at that moment. You didn't have to back off or whatever. You know? So that happens. And the producers come in. No. Moolah stands up and Moolah is upset. Moolah is like, because they started going back and forth arguing once again. And Moolah said that's enough of that. He want to stand up. He want to get everything on a bigger page, on the right page, and like do what they came there to do better. He felt like they made a really good song that day in the studio. I mean, the day before in the studio. So he want to move on and do whatever it is that they here to do. So then the producers come in and say that we bringing a new person into the cast. It's Jonathan. Jonathan comes in, and when they see it's Jonathan, Gutter is like, in his confessional, Gutter's like, well, he from Texas, and they real different. Texas people are real different or whatever. And it's about to be some shit. He bringing a tornado with him. And so Anthony on Jonathan Dick, yeah, because Texas, I know him. He can fight. He a big-chested man. He can fight or whatever. And all that kind of stuff like that. So They not they. So Jonathan comes in, he speaks, he walks through, sees all the rooms, and he sees Milan's room, and he was like, "I'm taking it. This gonna be my room." Milan took upon himself to go upstairs and go sit in the room, and they show Anthony come in looking through again, and he was like, "Yeah, this is my room." And Milan like, "Yeah, if we fucking, you can have this room. Like you can share this room with me if me and you gonna be having sex." And he was just like, "No, no, we're not. This is gonna be my room." Milan like, "No." So then they go back down the steps and into the kitchen, and they talking some more, and Jonathan, going around asking people who they are, whatever, whatever. he he looks at Moolah and like, well, what kind of vibe you got? And he said, "Why you so quiet?" And he was like, Moolah, like, "Oh, I'm just trying to read you. I'm trying to fill you out or whatever." And you know what's funny to me? Jonathan asked about what's been going on in the house, and Malone went on to say that it's been fights like every day. But he failed to mention that some of them fights was him sneaking people. He ain't bring that shit up, right? It's been fights every day, and he said it in a way like I'm above it and I'm sick of this shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, no, you the main one or whatever. And then next thing you know, one he brought up the one fight with Carry On, and Carry On said Jonathan said Kirk Franklin's son, and Carry On's like, "I have a name, it's Carry On," and Jonathan like Kirk Franklin's son, and Carry On ain't say nothing else, but in his confessional he's like, "Yeah, I have a name, it's Carry On, it's not Kirk Franklin's son." Yeah, you saying that in your confessionals, but you not. I mean, you said it once here, but he went on to say Kirk Franklin's son again, and you didn't say nothing else. And so once they tell Jonathan that Moolah and Carry On got into it, and Jonathan asked Moolah what for, and Moolah was like, "Cause I was trying to figure out where he stood. Like, is he gay or is he straight? Like, what side of the fence you on?" And um, Carry On's like, "Well, it's a whole lot of letters out there, and I'm a whole lot of them letters, so I'm not putting a label on myself or defining myself," basically, is what he said. And Jonathan, like, "Yeah, that's right. Like me. I'm just motherfucking Jonathan." And Moolah ain't have shit to say about it. But he was all up in Carry On. Fought Carry On, because Carry On didn't want to come out and say the words that I'm gay. Punch Carry On in the face for that. But you ain't giving Jonathan that same energy. And you can't look at Jonathan and tell what he is. And also mentions that Jonathan was supposed to do a live interview with him, and Jonathan flaked on him basically, and he brought it up that Jonathan did that, but he didn't give Jonathan what he gave Carry On just for not saying whether he was gay or straight. He gave him none of that energy. So while they're in the kitchen, Jonathan brings up that room situation once again, and Malone was like, "That's my room, and I'm not sharing it." And it comes up that the room was Anthony's at first, and he fought Anthony for that room, and Anthony conceded and let him have the room. And then Malone says, "Well, we fought. It was what it was, and I got the room." And he was when Jonathan said, "So you fought him for that room? You beat him up and took the room?" And he's like, "Well, I told him on the bus before we got here that the master bedroom was for me." So as I was saying, excuse me, Malone let it be known he keep wanting to go with. I told him on the bus beforehand that the master bedroom was mine, so I got my room. Jonathan is like, "Well, whatever, that's gonna be my room." Basically giving energy like, if I gotta fight you to take that room from your ass, that's what I'm gonna do. And Malone just sitting there looking stupid, like, and then next thing we know, they all three go to the room. Malone, Jonathan, and Relly. Let's see what it's gonna be. Malone Malone getting scared. Also forgot to mention that they brought up the toys that Malone was giving out. I think Gutter brought it up. And he gave them out, and while he was doing that, I think Curtis and Moolah was upstairs when he was giving them toys out or whatever, because of course they don't want no parts of that. Well, no, was they down there? Yeah, they was down there. They was down there. So anyway, it was somebody that wasn't in the room. Somebody was upstairs or whatever. I think it was Carrie on not in the room when they passed out Milan's toys. You know, but this show is something. It's Daryl in the corner just being a fly on the wall, like a live flower on the wall, as Jonathan keep pushing up on Milan about this freaking room. He keeps saying, "It's my room stink. It's my room stink." It's real tense, but Riley did point it out. Milan, Jonathan putting a little fear in Milan. And then they downstairs talking, kind of like, because he big. He a big boy. He a big country cornbread fed, you know. We're going to see what it's going to be. Now they saying they're going to talk about it later on that night. We're going to see what it's going to be. All right, y'all. So after Jonathan leaves Milan's room, after pressing him up all day about that freaking room, Milan goes outside, puts in a phone call to one of his homeboys that's just so happened to be out in LA for whatever reason, and tells him he having a party that night and he want him to pull up if he's still in town. The friend like, yeah, for sure, I'm pulling up. He like, all right, but it's a twofold reason. I want you to pull up because you're my homeboy, but also we've been fighting every day, and I had to beat a couple niggas' asses, and I don't know who might try to link up and jump me or whatever. And it's a new nigga in the house that I don't know like that. So basically, he's scared of Jonathan. And he called his friend for backup. Not backup because he think the guys in the house going to jump him. But backup because he know he can't beat. Or he feel like he can't beat Jonathan. So yeah, Malone calls his homeboy for backup. Because he's scared of Jonathan. And the episode goes off. And we see the previews for the next episode. The party is going down. Jonathan is out somewhere with Natalie. But we see William the baddest pulls up to this party. So Anthony goes up to him to fight him for coming up to the party or whatever. We see Relly say he don't mind touching booties and all that of women because they got strippers at this party. Moolah look like he in his element at this party or whatever, right? But yeah, that's what's gonna come up on the next episode after this. That was episode number 7 for y'all, I believe y'all. Peace. I'll see y'all next week. Don't forget to comment, like, and click subscribe too if you're not subscribed. What's up, y'all? I just wanted to come back and add one little point. Or something, an observation. I can't think of who said it. I don't know if it was Jonathan saying it as he was looking at everybody going around the room or whatever, but somebody kind of like mentioned that Moolah and Curtis supposed to be the two straight guys, but they both give him real suspect. And I see Curtis becoming a little friendlier with other people. He even mentioned this episode that him and Gutter then got real cool or whatever. So, based off the connection that they both like to rap or whatever. So we're gonna see. Also, by the way, I was scrolling TikTok yesterday and Curtis was on my FYP in the video. Him and somebody he said it was his brother or something like that. And he done made a whole song called Bad Boys. It's not the same song that they worked in the studio on for the show, but he got his own song called Bad Boys too, trying to capitalize off the show or whatever, the little notoriety he got right now. So that was smart. But also another thing, they acting like they don't know each other and stuff like that, but for the most part, they kind of like, it's like, to me, everybody that's come, well, the ones that's there and this new guy, Jonathan, Moolah Mo interviewed him for his radio show too. So, is he ever going to talk about other people he's interviewed that we might be familiar with? Because now I'm seeing that he done interviewed all the gay people or bi people. You got Malone, he interviewed William, he interviewed this guy, Jonathan. And Jonathan, as far as I know, I mean, I don't even know who Jonathan is, but from what they said on here, he does hair. So you got a hip hop radio show. Why? I mean, he does the hair of some hip hop artists, but what would you and Moolah be having an interview about when you specialize in doing hair and not doing actual hip hop yourself? You do the hair of some hip hop artists. Well, he expected you to spill some of their tea, some of their secrets, like what? I find it real odd that Moolah was all that straight energy. I'm straight, I'm straight, I'm straight. And professing it like he felt threatened and stuff like that. And like he was doing a lot to prove his straightness. But everybody we heard you say you interviewed, it was all the gay people that's on his show.